Namaste and welcome back, MOVATI yogis. My name's Stephanie and I'm going to be guiding you through a 60-minute journey through back-bending practice. Today's Hatha class will be focusing on lengthening and strengthening through the upper body, chest, as well as the upper back, so that thoracic spine that can get so tight with all of our driving and computer and phone usage. So we're going to be working on really opening up through a lot of twisting poses, still using the full front body as well, working up to our peak pose of Ustrasana or camel. So for today's practice, I'm going to recommend we have 2 blocks readily available. Large textbooks can also work, but if we can find something that will be able to stand up on end, maybe even water bottles, if you don't have the blocks, to help give us some extra support in our camel pose. Once you've grabbed all of those props, I'll meet you on the mat. So for today's practice, we're going to start out in child's pose. So you can have the knees close together or maybe take a wide-legged child's pose. Either way, big toes are going to touch, and then slowly walk the hands out, allowing the belly to nestle in between or on top of the thighs. Forehead starts to reach down as elbows and forearms come down. Maybe the forehead comes to rest on the mat, or maybe we stack the palms or even place a block under the head to give that bit of support for the neck if it's calling for it today. And allow yourself to stop before we start. Stopping that pattern of rushing or going over your to-do list, what you've done in the morning, what you've done after, everything that's swirling around. Just giving yourself space to pause, letting go of what's happened before, and opening yourself up to fully experience these next 60 minutes. I've said it before, so often during the day we're so accessible. We might feel like we're scattering ourselves, leaving little pieces throughout everything. Invite all those little pieces of you back home onto your mat. If the mind is still seeming a little spinning or anxious, draw your focus into the breath, focusing on that inhale and exhale, being truly focused in the moment. Perhaps lengthening our inhale to 4 or 5 seconds. Equal length of exhale. Noticing that all 3 rhythms of the body are interconnected. The rhythm of our breath, the rhythm of our heart, and the rhythm of our brain waves. If we start to control and slow one down, the other 2 will slowly follow suit. Perhaps cultivating that ujjayi breath, the soft ocean-like wave sound, breathing in through the nose, finding space to pause before releasing that exhale out. Noticing if we're meeting the mat with tension in any point of the body, directing the breath there, allowing that tension to melt, or perhaps just let a little bit off with the exhale. Breathing fresh breath and energy into those tight spots, allowing the muscles to release. On your next inhale, slowly walking the hands back in, coming up onto tabletop position on hands and knees. We're going to come into puppy dog pose, but using the blocks under the hands. So maybe bringing the knees a little bit wider. We'll bring the blocks out in front, about shoulder width apart, and then placing the palms up on that largest flat surface of the block. Exhale, start to bow the chest down. Maybe adjusting, walking the knees back. Again, the hips should be directly over top of the knees. If it's feeling a bit too strenuous, having the palms flat here, or if it's hurting the underside of the wrist, bring them in a little bit closer, and then palms can hang down over the edge, the full forearm supported. By elevating the hands here, we're really bringing that deeper stretch and focus into the thoracic spine, allowing the arms to extend out of the shoulder socket, and the weight of the upper body gently encouraging that stretch. Maybe releasing the forehead down onto the mat, a little less weight for the upper body to hold. And then allow the arms to just surrender to gravity. Seeing if we can really let the heart center melt down towards the mat, opening up space between each of the front ribs. If it's feeling too intense, having the hands elevated, you can always slide the blocks over to the side, bringing the hands down onto the mat. You might start to feel a slight discomfort working its way in, seeing if we can stay in that moment, focusing on the breath, learning to move and breathe in that state of discomfort. And then inhale, slowly lifting up, sliding the hands down, coming underneath the shoulders, back into a supported tabletop position. Slide the blocks over towards the sides. We're going to come down into a modified plank. So from hands and knees, walk the knees a little bit further out and inhale, bringing the chest forward. So it should look like a nice long line from the knees through the hips into the shoulders. From our modified plank, chaturanga. Exhale, bend the arms, lowering down. We're going to come into Sphinx pose, so slide those hands and forearms down, elbows plant down underneath the shoulders. Bring hands to opposite elbows, a little depth check to make sure we are placing the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Bring the hands out in front once more, forearms are parallel to each other, relaxing the legs and the glutes. We're going to flow and then hold. Inhale, let the chest come forwards as if we were dragging our upper body through the biceps. Head comes up. Exhale, pressing into the mat, rounding the spine away. 2 more. Inhale, pulling forward, arching the back, head up last. Exhale, a little bit of bicep strength as we press back to round. Inhale, coming forward, head rising last. Exhale, pressing down, using that arm strength to round. Maybe the belly lifts up off the mat. And then inhale, we're going to hold our Sphinx this time. Coming through, head rising up. And on that exhale, we hold here. Noticing if we're clenching through the glutes again, can we focus on letting them relax while engaging through the upper body like we're going to slide on our bellies right in between the elbows. And then exhale, come to a more neutral position, arms stay the same. We're going to lift up into a forearm plank. So curling the toes under, engaging through the front legs, so knees raise up. We can keep palms flat where they are. Or maybe interlacing the fingers, pressing the pinky fingers down onto the mat. Whichever position works better for you in that forearm plank. Inhale, knees are lifted, toes curled under. Exhale, lifting the torso up, really pressing into the forearms and hands now. Maybe walking the toes a little bit closer. using that same shape from our Sphinx when we exhaled and rounded away, using that same alignment and strength in the arms. And then we're coming into dolphin pose. Puppy pose is a modifying option available, or with bent knees, start walking the feet in. Thinking like that down dog position, but maybe bending the knees a little bit more. This is quite the intense stretch. If we were to gaze at our elbows, are we seeing a crease formed between forearm and bicep? Can we pull the upper body back, decreasing that defined line? Feeling more of that intense stretch in the shoulders? Maybe bowing the head down, gazing between the calves, looking behind us. And then inhale, coming forward, back towards that plank position, stepping, walking the feet back. Exhale all the way down. Slide the hands underneath the shoulders, thumbs hugging into the ribs. We're going to reverse push up to either our plank or modified plank. So curling toes under, knees can stay connected, or on that next inhale, we charge up. Exhale, pressing up from the mat, either knees stay connected or lift up. And then the knees will come down for all as we exhale, slide the hips back over top of the heels. Arms stay extended, child's pose. Taking a deep inhale and exhale here. Starting it off by just firing up the core, creating a little bit of that inner fire, that Agni. And then inhale, slowly rising up, hands walk in, coming into a seated position in hero pose. So keeping the hips stacked over top of the heels, we're going to come into a baby or seated camel to start practice. So from this position, bringing the hands down onto the mat, fingertips are pointing towards the knees. Fingers can be in line with the toes, or maybe moving them a little bit further back. Arms are coming into an internal rotation position. And as we start to lift, the glutes can initiate. Inhale, hips start to rise up off the heels. I should have said quads initiate that lift, and now is when we really want those glutes to lift up, allowing those front body muscles to release a little bit, to open up while the glutes are there to support. Feeling that stretch across the front of the arms and the shoulders from that internal spiral. Gaze can be straight ahead, or maybe starting to look back if it's comfortable for the spine. Remember, when we bring the head back into this upright position, tucking the chin to the chest, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, walking the hands forward, back to our modified plank, knees down. Inhale, bring the shoulders more in line with the fingertips. Exhale, chaturanga, coming down. We're going to do baby cobra, fingertips touch, light touch. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, melting down. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sliding down. Last one, yogis. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. Your choice for baby cobra or cobra on this one. So fingertips or palms down. Inhale, peeling up, chest, rise, head coming up. And then exhale, curl that core in, lifting the hips up through modified plank to table. Exhale, sinking back into our seated position. Once more, our seated camel pose. So hands can stay exactly where they were, behind the feet, or maybe bring the fingers a little bit closer in line with the toes. I'm just going to scoot forward. On that inhale, let the quadriceps, those front body muscles, initiate the lift. And then let the power and strength of those leg muscles lift us up a little bit more. Feeling the inner thighs starting to contract is a good thing. And then exhale, releasing down. Inhale, come forward into plank or modified plank. Chaturanga, exhale, lower down. Inhaling for your back bend of choice, cobra or baby cobra, inhaling up. And on this exhale, we can come through to plank or modified. Curl the toes under. We're all gonna meet downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Maybe adjusting the stance, walking the feet a little bit closer. Noticing if we're dumping into that upper body, hanging down. Can we find some active engagement and lift? Shoulders are protracting, creating some space. Are the lower abdominals engaged to draw in, allowing the pelvis to tilt? You can invite movement into your down dog, maybe pedaling, alternating one leg straight, one leg bent. One of my all-time favorites is bending the knees deeply. Inhale, lifting up onto the toes, lengthening those legs up on tiptoes. And then exhale, slowly lowering down. So we'll start our flow, working through some lunges and some twists. Big toes touch. Inhale, right leg, reaching up and back. Three-legged down dog. Exhale, bending that right knee. Bring the heel towards the bum, stacking the hips open. Trying to reach that right knee up towards the ceiling. Gaze can come under that right arm. And then inhale, lengthen the right leg. Hips become parallel to the mat. Exhale, draw the knee forward. Right foot ending up in between the hands. Left knee comes down. Low lunge on the left side. So option to roll that left edge of the mat over, doubling up for a bit of padding underneath the knee. Left toes can be curled under or remain flat on the mat, seeing how it feels for your knee and your joints here. On an inhale, we're gonna rise up, hands come overhead. Exhale, pausing into our lunge. Noticing if we have that dumping feeling into the right thigh. Can we press the heel down into the mat, lifting up, drawing our sweatpant drawstrings a little bit tighter so we can feel those low abdominal muscles engage. And then exhale, maybe find space, sinking a little lower. Inhale, arms come back overhead if they're not already. Exhale, open towards the right. Right hand comes back, left hand reaching forward. We can stay here with limbs extended, or maybe bring left hand outside of the right knee. Right hand onto the low back, fingers pointing down, or with the arm extended behind. Or maybe inhale, reach that left arm up and overhead, creating that crescent shape along the left side. Inhale here. Exhale, release, opening the arms up once more. So right hand back, left hand forward. Inhale, widening across the chest. Exhale, left hand comes down onto the mat inside of the right foot. And inhale, right arm up, revolve, twist in our low lunge. Finding that support through the shoulders and arms. Left fingers can claw down. Spreading the shoulders apart on the back. Inhale, sweep the right hand down along the mat and both come up overhead, low lunge facing forward. Bring the hands down, interlace on top of that right knee. We're lifting into high lunge. Curl those left toes if they're not already. Inhale to firm up the core. Exhale, lift, coming up into that high lunge. Inhale, maybe bend that left leg a little bit so we can reach up and then focus on reaching the leg back. On an exhale, bending the arms, cactus, open the chest. Two more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus and open. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, drawing open. Inhale one more time, reaching up. Exhale, twisting open, just like our low lunge. Right arm reaching back, left arm forward. We can bring the hands down to modify once more to low back and to the knee. We're keeping them reaching out. On an inhale, coming back to high lunge, facing forward. Exhale, fold over that right leg. Rocking forward and back a bit. Inhale, we're gonna bring left foot forward. On that exhale, step, drag, skip. Bring that left foot up beside the right. Inhale, halfway, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale, folding down. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, coming all the way up. Arms reach along the sides, overhead. And then exhale, cactus arms once more, drawing the elbows back and down. Releasing the arms by the sides. Samastitihi, ready position. We'll move through that same flow on the other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway, lengthen through the legs, through the crown of the head. Exhale, step, walk. Maybe you want to hop back into plank or modified plank. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, peeling up for cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, navel draws towards the spine to protect it, lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Taking a big exhale as we arrive. Re-energizing with another breath in and release. Big toes touch. Inhale, left leg reaches up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, bending the knee, heel comes towards the bum, opening up, stacking the hips on that left side. Left knee reaching up towards the ceiling. Those outer hip muscles are starting to work. Gaze can be underneath that left tricep. Inhale, lengthen left leg back, square the hips forward. On an exhale, engaging through the core, bring the knee and the foot forwards, ending up between the hands. Right knee comes down. Low lunge on the other side. Again, doubling up the mat for padding. Toes can be curled or flat. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, maybe adjusting that sweatpant drawstring. Can we get those low abdominals engaged? Allowing us to sink down without dumping forward. Inhale, arms come back to overhead. Exhale, open towards the left. So left hand coming back, right hand reaching forward. Pinky fingers point down, thumbs are facing up. Imagining each of the fingers are radiating energy out, helping us balance. Option to bring left hand to the low back, fingers point down. Right hand on the outside of the knee. Or maybe that right hand reaches up and back, crescent shape on the right side. Still being mindful of our lunge, finding that stability through the pelvis. Inhale, the arms back out, left arm back, right arm forward. Exhale, right hand plants down on the mat, left reaches up for revolve twist in the low lunge. Taking an inhale and exhalation here. Actively lifting that shoulder away from the ear. On an inhale, sweep the left hand down along the outside of the foot and both hands come up, low lunge. Exhale, interlace the fingers over top of that left knee. Curl the right toes under if you haven't already. Inhale, charging up. Exhale, lifting up to low lunge. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus to open. Inhale, gazing up two maybe. Exhale, cactus. Once more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale to open. Exhale, folding down. But we're going to twist into an upright, so let's inhale, coming up. Exhale, open, left arm back, right arm forward. That same twist from our low lunge. Arms can extend or come into that modified support option to low back and knee. And then inhaling both arms up, hips and chest square forward. Exhale, now we fold over that front leg. Right foot's gonna come forward. So inhale, maybe rocking back a little. Exhale, bring that right foot forward between the left. Ooh, a little tingly here. Inhale halfway, maybe hands come onto the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweeping the arms up along the sides. Overhead gaze follows for a baby back bend. Exhale, cactus the arms as they slowly draw down by the sides, returning us to Samastitihi. All right, moving through a similar flow with a couple more options added in here. Inhale, reaching arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, coming down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step, walk, maybe bunny hop the feet back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, baby cobra, cobra, or maybe upward facing dog, pressing into the tops of the feet. Knees, thighs, hips, lift up. Exhale, down dog, engage that core, spine is long. We can roll over the toes from up dog. Exhale to arrive at down dog. Big toes walk in to touch. On an inhale, right leg sweeping up and back. Three-legged down dog. Exhale, bending the knee. Heel comes towards the seat. Reaching that right knee up once more towards the ceiling. Maybe gaze comes to peek underneath that right arm. Inhale, lengthen the right leg back, squaring the hips. Exhale, bring that right foot forward. In between the hands, low lunge, left knee comes down. Keeping the toes curled under this time. Inhale, sweeping arms up, overhead. Exhale, opening into our twist. Options, staying here, arms extended. Bringing that right hand to the low back, left hand on the knee. Reaching left arm up and overhead. And maybe releasing that right hand down onto the calf, allowing us to come back a little bit more with support. Little waves are okay. It's our body finding balance, readjusting, realigning. Use the breath to stay focused. Inhale, coming back to that upright twist version. Exhale, left hand plants down, right arm comes up, revolve, twist in our low lunge. Inhale, sweeping that right arm along the floor, both come up, low lunge facing the front of your mat. Exhale, interlace hands on top of the thigh or that right knee. Inhale for length and strength. Exhale, coming up into our high lunge. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, draw the arms back. Inhale once more. Exhale, drawing the arms down. This time as we inhale up, pivot that left heel down, coming into Warrior One. Virabhadrasana One. Exhale, release the arms by the sides. We can interlace the fingers behind the back, or maybe grab opposite elbow, stacking the forearm, keeping that bend into the right knee. Inhale for length. Exhale, start to bow down, humble warrior. Right shoulder can stack on top of the right knee. We can maybe add a challenge, slide inside of the right thigh. Or release the hands down so right hand is inside of the right foot, hands directly underneath the shoulders, giving some support for the upper body and focusing instead on that deep inner hip stretch. Options are yours to choose from here. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. On that next inhale, travel towards the left side of the mat, all the way to the middle of the mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So toes are coming in just a bit, heels are coming out, hands are underneath the face. We'll inhale one time for length. Exhale, melting down, hands under shoulders. Your hands can be on a block as well. I say one block because we're going to come into a revolved wide-legged forward fold. So bring left hand underneath the face. On an inhale, twisting towards the right. Draw that right arm up like a bow. Fingertips reaching up, legs lengthening. Exhale, holding here. Gaze can come up or towards that side wall, whichever is comfortable. Maybe feeling a bit of an inner thigh stretch on the left side. Really stacking the arms one on top of each other, focusing on that upper body twist. Exhale, float the right hand down. It replaces the left directly under the face. And then inhale, pressing first into that right arm, and then left draws up and over, fingertips towards the ceiling. Noticing if we bent that right leg to make the twist happen. Exhale, slowly extend it once more, adjusting for any impact that had. Inhale, still finding space between the shoulders. But exhale, imagining it was one tall stick running from that bottom hand through the back of the left palm. Exhale, big breath. Sweep the left hand down all the way towards the front of the mat, coming back into our high lunge. Left heel lifts, right toes point forward. Inhale, rising up one time. And then exhale, coming into revolved high lunge. Left hand touching down. Inhale, right arm reaching forward. Forward and up, I should say. Exhale, release that right hand down onto the mat in a runner's lunge. Slide, drag, move right foot back beside the left. Inhale for plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down. Back bend of choice. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, downward facing dog, coming over the toes, arriving with the exhale. Inhale, bring the big toes to touch. Pausing here. Inhale, left leg reaching up and back. Three-legged down dog. Exhale, bending the knee, heel towards the bum. That left knee reaching up towards the ceiling. Feeling those outer hips working, stretching. Inhale, extend the left leg, square the hips in line with the shoulders. Exhale, left knee comes into the chest, left foot in between the hands. Right knee comes down, low lunge. Keep those toes curled under this time. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, cue the abdominal engagement. Inhale, that bit of length. Exhale, open towards the left side. So left hand's reaching back. Right arm is reaching forward. Can stay here. Can bring those left fingers to the low back. Right hand outside or on top of the knee. Or maybe reach that right arm up overhead. And maybe even releasing that left hand down. Never been so grateful for big calves as I am now. Giving me that support to reach and stretch open. Seeing if we can press into that left heel. Maybe bringing the shoulder more in line with that left hand. Inhale, right arm draws forward, back into our upper lunge. Exhale, plant, right foot down, right hand down. Inhale, left arm, revolve, twist in our low lunge. Inhale, sweep left arm along the side. Both rise up, high lunge. Exhale, interlace hands on top of the knee. Curl those right toes. Inhale for strength. Exhale, rise up into our high lunge. Inhale, reaching arms up. Exhale, coming open. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus to open. This time as we inhale to rise up, pivoting that right heel down, warrior one, Virabhadrasana one on the left side. Exhale, release the hands along the sides. They can interlace behind the back or grab opposite elbows. But wait, which hand is our dominant? That's always on top. Switching it up. Let's find the other side, the weird feeling side. Inhale, find length. Exhale, start to bow forward. Left shoulder can be on top of the left knee. Can snuggle down on the inside if we're looking for that intensity burn. Or release the hands down underneath the shoulders. Maybe a little bend in the elbows. Still going deep into the fold. Taking a deep inhale. Maybe a shaky exhale. Inhale once more. Exhale, release the hands if they're not there already, and then walk along the right side of the mat to halfway. Wide-legged lunge once more. So adjusting for that pigeon footing, toes in, heels out. This time we're gonna flow through our wide-legged forward fold. Left hand underneath the face on a block, on fingertips, or flat on the mat. Inhale, right arm reaching up. Exhale, flowing down, replacing the left. Inhale, left arm rising up into our twist. Exhale, flowing down. Inhale, right arm coming up. Exhale, down it goes. Left arm, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, floating down. Last one. Inhale, right arm coming up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, down. This time we're going to do a little hold. Inhale, right arm comes up and maybe cranking it over center towards the left side behind us. Exhale, coming down. Right hand plants. Inhale, left arm can sweep up and pause at that 12 o'clock position. Or if the shoulders and upper back are feeling happy, maybe start dipping over towards 10 o'clock. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Inhale, halfway, little lift for length. Exhale, walking the feet forward into a high lunge. Right heel lift, left toes point forward. Inhale, reaching up our high lunge. Exhale, open to twist in the upright position. Left hand back, right arm forward. Seeing if we can find some length. If that quadricep is tight and pulling us forward, can we reach up just a little bit? And then inhale, circle left arm up, facing forward. Exhale, folding down. Step, drag, move left foot back beside the right. You can take a vinyasa if you want, or maybe drop the knees and slide those hips back over top of the heels, coming into child's pose. Still maintaining control of the breath here. Maybe taking a sip of water. Just finding that connection once more to the breath, to the present moment. Not focusing on how we'll feel after class, focusing on the now and without judgment. We're going to come into our camel phase of the practice. So on an inhale, slightly lifting up, take inventory. Where are my blocks? Let's grab those, or books, or Gatorades, or whatever you're using as your blocks today. We're going to place those on the outer edges of the mat so that they're within grabbing area. We're upright in hero pose, meaning the thighs are stacked on top of the shins, hips on top of the feet. We'll come into our seated baby camel first. So with those palms planting down, fingers towards the knees. This time, see if we can really bring the fingers in line with the toes here. Feeling that internal rotation happening with the shoulders. Again, quadriceps start the lift. Inhale, starting to come up. Let those posterior chain muscles. Exhale, propel the hips up and forward. Chest and shoulders are being lifted. Throughout our camel practice, we're going to take it 2 more times. This can be your camel today. Exhale, sinking the hips down, bringing the torso over top of the hips. As we move to camel number 2, we can stay in that position, or maybe grabbing those blocks on the tallest setting, coming to stand up on the shins, on the knees. Curl the toes under, placing the blocks outside of the ankle joint, so that ankle bone, that ball one that sticks out and really hurts when you smoke it on the piece of furniture or the bed. That's the point we want to align our blocks with. On an inhale, come to stand on the knees. A few weeks ago, we worked in class, or I should say, who knows, maybe it was just yesterday's class, working on engaging front body muscles when we lean back to support ourselves in camel. We'll do that 2 times here. Hands on the thighs. Inhale, lengthening back, 1 long line. Exhale, coming up. I want you to focus on those muscles that are helping us lift forward. Inhale with strength. Exhale, propelling forward. It's those back body muscles I want us to focus on. So this time, inhale, leaning back, hands slide back onto the blocks. And then exhale, those same muscles we just used to lift forward, can we engage them here? The difference being, instead of dumping and focusing on the shoulders and back coming down, we've got that supported lift happening. No more crunching of the low back. Maybe allowing some softness here, letting the chest sink down. Gaze can remain straight overhead, or maybe experiment with walking along the ceiling line, tucking the head down. This can evoke feelings of anxiety or nausea. It's completely normal. You can tuck the chin to the chest and slowly come out if you're having those feelings. Inhale, bringing chin to chest. Exhale, sinking the hips down. You can always come out of the pose at any time. You don't have to wait for my cue. We're going to go 1 more time. Oftentimes, back bends can challenge fear for us. The fear of being completely open to the moment, to the experience, causing that unsettling in the body. Seeing if we can breathe through, learning to thrive rather than just survive. Inhale, rising up onto the knees. Hands can start out on the shins. Inhale, leaning back. Release those hands onto the block. Palms are flat down. Exhale, those propulsion posterior muscles helping us lift up. Exhale, maybe let the gaze dip back. Oftentimes, fear can manifest itself in the bodies as tension, as anxiety. In yoga, working through our postures or asanas is a way for us to release that tension, bringing relief and light into the body. Seeing if with these back bends we can help release some of that tension and fear. Inhale, bring the chin back to the chest. Exhale, lower the hips down. Moving the blocks over towards the sides. Walk the hands forward into tabletop. And then wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touch. Knees are nice and wide. Melt the hips down. Belly slides down between the thighs. arms can remain extended, or bring the palms in to act like a little pillow or cushion for the forehead to rest on stacked fists or stacked palms. And allowing yourself to still maintain control here, but allow the spine to neutralize and rest. We'll move through one more twist, just helping release any of the tension. A very gentle passive twist, and then some forward folds to counter. Inhale, slowly coming up, walk the hands forward towards yourself, coming up onto tabletop, and we're going to come into seated, so maybe rolling over crossed ankles or ankles towards the side. Come into a seated position. Anyone will do, crossed ankles, crossed shins, whatever's comfortable for you. Knees are reaching out, maybe even grabbing a block to sit on, elevating the hips, giving more space for the hip joint to externally open. We're going to inhale, right arm reaching up and back behind us. Exhale, left hand comes to the outside of that right knee, and just gentle leverage. We can gaze over that right shoulder to the back of the room. Inhale, releasing arms, gaze comes forward. Exhale for reset. Inhale, left arm coming up and back, fingertips touch down behind us. Exhale, grabbing to the outside of the left knee with the right hand. Gazes over that left shoulder. Feeling the right shoulder protract, lifting off of the back just a little. Exhale, unwind, coming forward, releasing the chest. Taking the legs out nice and wide, coming into a straddle position. No definition on how far those legs should be. Whatever's comfortable for you, and allows the knees to face up and the toes staying up. As we bow forwards, I really want you to focus on maintaining that opening and knees and toes pointing up so the pelvis is doing the rotation coming through. That being said, we can grab one or two blocks, either for forearms to plant down, or maybe building a little tower, and your forehead can come to rest on it. On an inhale, hands can be down, just a little length. Exhale, start to walk the arms, the hands forward. Once we feel that point where the legs would roll in to allow us to go further, stopping there. Finding support to rest, whether that's elbows on the block or forehead on our block. Bowing forward, trying to create and keep that length through the entire spine. Keeping the mind focused and centered in the moment. If thoughts start to creep in or the mind starts to wander out, bring it back with that breath in and out. Inhale, slowly start to walk back to an upright position, moving the blocks out of the way. Drawing the legs in together. We're going to recline down onto the mat. Soles of the feet plant down. We can grab the back of the thighs. Slowly rolling down, and then bring those knees into the chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Rolling side to side. And then planting both feet down onto the mat. We're going to keep left foot connected. Inhale, draw that right knee in towards the chest. Press that left foot down and shimmy the hips over just a little towards the right. Left hand comes outside of the right knee. Right hand lays down onto the floor, palm down. Exhale, pull both legs over towards that left side, coming into a reclined twist. Option to start drawing that left heel towards the seat, creating a long line from the hips straight down through the left knee, and maybe right hand can grab the top of that left foot, creating an upside down triangle shape from that left knee. Maybe right toes are touching it, or maybe right knee's at a 90-degree angle with the foot touching the floor. Inhale, drawing the knees back to center, both feet touch down, shifting the hips back to center, aligned with the shoulders. Pausing here. Draw the left knee up into the chest, pressing that right foot down, shift the hips towards the left. Right hand outside of the left knee, left palm presses down. Exhale, rolling both legs over towards the right side. Shoulders both are planted onto the mat, and then maybe reaching that right knee down towards the front of the mat. Left hand can grab the top of the foot. Right hand gently pulling the knee down, not focusing on dropping and touching the mat, but just that gentle, active pull. On an inhale, slowly bringing the knees back to center, feet plant down, shifting the hips back in alignment. Inhale, draw those knees up into the chest, giving yourself one last great big hug. Maybe roll side to side. Maybe taking happy baby if you like. Soles of the feet reaching up, knees at 90 degrees. We can grab behind the knees, pulling down to the outer torso, or maybe slide the hands up along the inside, grabbing the arches of the foot, the ankles or big toes, and then gently rocking side to side. Massaging out the back, and then drawing the knees back together once more. Feel free to take any final movements or adjustments the body might be calling for. And then prepare for Shavasana to extend the legs. Maybe grabbing those blocks one more time. And as we extend the legs out towards the top corners of the mat, we can place the blocks on that number 2 setting underneath the knees. And then releasing the body down. Just giving a subtle lift, releasing the front body, the low back. Arms reach out by the sides, palms facing up, externally rotating. I invite you to take one last deep inhale, filling the belly, the chest, all the way up to the collarbones, and release. Allowing yourself to let go of the breath, of holding the body a certain way, to just release yourself to the moment and be at rest. Slowly bringing awareness back into the body. Perhaps the sensations through the low body, those small little jolts or releases of the muscles. Awareness of the natural breath. Perhaps that calm and sense of lightness, both physically and emotionally. I invite you to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you can, for as long as you need to. When you are ready to exit, gently drawing the knees up to plant the feet, moving the blocks out towards the sides. Hug the knees into the chest one last time. Give yourself a big squeeze. Head and shoulders lift up. And then we can roll on to the right side into fetal position, or maybe rock and roll, coming forward up to that same seated position. Gaze is soft, unfocused. Maybe eyes start to close, hands rest on the legs. Take one last deep inhale, lengthening through the spine. And then bring palms together. Exhale, bowing chin to chest and forwards. Namaste.